On October 11th, I made a video about Omarchy. And at the time, I only used it for about a week. And so now I've used it for about a good 5 weeks, right? And in this video, I'm going to basically just talk about my experience after using it longer. And ultimately, I see by the title why I decided to switch back to just Arch Linux. So in the video, some of the things I talk about that I liked about Omarchy is how easy it's for beginners or intermediate users to just like launch Omarchy, and all of a sudden you have all these different apps you could just use, like OBS Studio, which I'm used to record this video, Visual Studio Code, NeoVim, not having to waste all that time getting all these apps installed, which is what I'm currently doing on Arch Linux. I'm having to go through, I just installed like OBS and all that yesterday so that I can continue to record on my laptop, because most of my videos in the past are done on my laptop because that's where I screen record at. And so there was that. Then another thing I said I really liked about Arch Linux, or not Arch Linux, Omarchy. I'm probably gonna say it a couple of times, confuse them. But another thing I said I love about Omarchy was the key bindings. And honestly, after switching back to Arch Linux, I don't like the keybind as much as I thought it would. Some of them, especially like the recent changes he made, where it's like you have to do like Control Shift F to like full screen, or is it just Control or like Super F before? Some I just don't agree with. Like it does tell you though, which is good. It tells you it's very opinionated. And first I was like, oh, that's cool. But it's like I've used a couple different Linux distributions, and so I don't know. I like that familiarity of the ones instead of having to learn something new. At first, it was fun. Then it's like I'm gonna miss a few things. Like if you want to know my full opinion on it, then you just click the video. But there's one more thing. I know I said that I liked the customization. That was my favorite part. The fact that you can like create web apps very easily, and you can quickly change the background, like the picture in the background, quickly change the theme. Now that theme will then apply to all of the apps that are compatible with it, like Visual Studio Code, NeoVim. You update that color scheme on your computer system wide, and then it'll affect everything else in there, which I thought was really cool. And that's definitely like, I'm sure it's possible in Arch Linux, but that would require so much code and so much above my like knowledge right now to be able to like figure something out like that. And I really love like being able to just change themes and stuff on the spot, just like however I'm feeling that day or whatever. But in this video, the reason I decided to switch is because I was having a lot of errors recently. Well, basically, like probably a week ago, I booted up my laptop, and normally it just launches smoothly. I'm able to just get in there and start coding or whatever. But this time, I wish I would have like a screenshot or something. But if you use Omarchy, you've probably run through this. Basically, the error I got was like a bunch of notification bubbles in like the top right, and it would say like error, error, error. And I looked up the error, tried to fix it, and it didn't help it. And I kept looking, and none of that solved the issue. And so it got to the point where, like, not even just that, I would load up I booted up, I would see the background, and it would be blank. It would be a black screen, and then the little way bar at the top wouldn't be there. And so I basically it looked like my system was just broken randomly. I hadn't done anything wrong. And then another thing, I tried to update my Omarchy, and I wasn't updated. I kept getting me these errors back saying that this file couldn't be updated, this file couldn't be updated, we couldn't find this file. And so I was like, I still want to use Omarchy. So I was like, let me delete this, or let me reinstall a fresh copy of Omarchy, and hopefully that fixes it. I reinstalled Omarchy just to run into the same update problems. And so my, I don't know how I'm going to use this. Then I have to just switch to something else. And so I decided to switch back to Arch Linux. And like there's downsides, right? Because like I'm having to spend all this time creating a waybar, not even creating, like there's pre-configured setups that I'm going to use, but I'm running into problems with like Wi-Fi and all that. Whereas with Omarchy, out of the box, all this Wi-Fi stuff is there. The TUIs, the interfaces, you can just click on everything. It's super smooth, but it's only great when it works. And so basically the point of me making this video is I do really love Omarchy and I want to use it, but I'm going to just be using Arch Linux for now until Omarchy is more mature and it kind of just like worked out some of those kinks to where it is like that perfect operating system that it has the potential to be, or at least if you're looking for that type of operating system. Because each one does a bit of different. I mean, there's Pop OS and all that. Like, it just depends on what you're wanting and like what do you like the idea behind the operating system. Does it let you achieve the things you want? Because you can be doing something for gaming or content creation strictly, a mixture of both. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and until next time.